So this is our last video. I've covered most of the Canva basics, but we haven't touched on Reels, and I just wanted to make sure that you'd be okay with these after going through this video. It's really simple, right? If you purchase Reels from someone like myself, what you're getting is a pre-made template, but there are some requirements from you. For example, you need to customize your Reel by placing in your own video. So there's a thing on Meta called duplication risk. What that means is if 100 people load the exact same reel without changing a single thing, without changing the video, Meta recognizes duplications and therefore it will suppress the viewership. And that is why a lot of people struggle whilst using stock video in their reels. And I don't suggest ever using stock video in your reels, because if Meta recognizes the stock used, then your reel's going to get suppressed in views. This isn't always the case, however. So let's say you have a compound reel. When I say compound reel, what do I mean? I mean a reel that has more than one slide. So let's look at my one here, right? Let's see if I change the view, if this makes it easier. So this is a compound reel because there's page 1 and page 2 has two separate clips. So with compound reels, you can slide in stock amongst other video that you've created, and you won't sort of trigger the duplication risk. The problem is mostly if you have a single sort of reel, like this first one here, that's a single reel right there. If you have one clip and you use stock photo, then there's a possibility of getting flagged by Meta and seeing less views, which we want to avoid. So when you use all my reels, my suggestion is to just take any kind of footage that you have. It doesn't need to be glamorous. It doesn't need to look like stock photos. It could even be, for this particular template, this is called innocent MCQs. This is a humor template. So you could place any kind of stock in here. You could place just a wide panning shot of a bedroom, or even your garden. You could just take a little panning shot of the garden. Nothing fancy, because the background matters as a secondary. And what's important in this reel is the text. Now I'm just going to play this for you, and we're going to talk about it in a second. So I'm just going to pause it here to give everyone a chance to read, and I'll actually read it. What are your January homeowner problems? 1, interest rates. 2, home maintenance. 3, being an adult. 4, holiday debt. Adulthood is the home repair nobody wanted. So number 3 is the solution. So it's just a little bit of light humor, right? This particular reel doesn't require too much work from you. What you would do is change your name, and that's the same as it would apply for a carousel, right? So you would click on this item here and you would change it. You could put your name, and you could put a very, very tiny logo. If you are going to put logos in your reels, make sure they are extremely tiny. I very rarely put logos in reels, but this one was, a bit unique. It had humor, so I wanted it to feel uniquely yours. So I've, created a space here for the logo. What you would do is you would just drag and drop your own logo directly over it. So you'll upload your logo and then drag it over. I'm just going to drag this little fly in here so that you can see that, it went into that frame. So that's all you need to do for this particular reel. And now we will look to upload a video into Canva and drag it in here. And there's just one little trick I need you to be aware of. When you do upload video into Canva, you'll have to click on this item here that says videos, because it won't show next to all your images. You actually have to click on videos. So I've got a video here of a car. So I'm just going to drag it in to the first slide. Right. And now something happened, and I'm just going to show you again, right? So initially it was at 6.1 seconds, this reel. But after I dragged it in, it became 6.7 seconds. This is a problem, and would be a problem for any reel that you use, right? When you drag a video in, the timing of the reel changes. And it's really important for you to readjust that timing, usually back to the original timing. If you're doing a talking head video or it's a home showing, keep the clip sizes at around 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds. You don't want to go too far. It depends on the clip. If you're doing a lot of storytelling, your clips can go to 3, 4, and even 5 seconds. It's really dependent on the clip. But with this specific item, which is humor, I'm trying to keep the timing very precise. So I don't want you to use the clip at 6.7 seconds. I want you to use it at 6.1 seconds, which is what it was originally at. So if you look at the bottom here, you see 6.1 seconds, but after I drag the new video in, it's 6.7. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your cursor Just going to zoom this a little. You're going to put your cursor on this little vertical line and you're going to drag it back till you get to 6.1 seconds. And with the second clip, you're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to bring in a different clip this time. Now I'm going to bring in this clip. And once again, you can see that the timing has gone off. So it was 2.7 seconds originally. I'm just going to drag it back exactly to 2.7 seconds. So that's very important because I have sound attached to this particular clip, and the text timing is also based on the length of the clip. So I want you to remember that when you use reels, especially if you're using templates, try to keep to the times assigned in the clip, because the full length of the reel needs to be pretty specific for the category you're covering. For example, if you're doing emotional home storytelling, you can go to 15, 20, 30, even 40 seconds, depending on what you're doing. And sometimes when you're doing humor and a little listicles, then you want to keep those clips really short, sometimes between 3 and 6 seconds. In this case, our clip total value, I think, is around 8.8 seconds, which is a bit longer, but we needed to deliver this punchline, and also there's a bit of reading on this clip. And that's the most important aspect of a reel, right? Is the timing of the reel. Putting in good footage is also always important, but if you purchase from me, I'll provide you with the training on how to edit each of your reels. To summarize, for Canva editing purposes, you're going to bring your own clips in, go to the Uploads button, click on this Videos subfolder here, and you'll find all your videos. Then you drag them in. Make sure you keep the timings to the timings that were given to you, right? The original timings. Once you're done with that, the last step is to click Share, Download, and you want it to be selected as an MP4 video, and then you are going to select the pages that you want to use. So in this case, the reel is actually over 2 pages, page 1 and 2. So I'm going to select all, and I'm going to click 1 and 2 because I just want those 2 pages. I'm going to click Done and Download. And then when it comes to my computer, you'll have the full 2 pages. I hope this video was helpful for you. It's a very basic training on how to edit reels, but as I mentioned before, if you come into the fold with me, I'll make sure you get trained up on how to edit these reels just perfectly. Thank you for staying with me on this training series. I'm sure you've learned a few hacks that you can apply to your business right away. If you have any questions or if you like the training series, please leave a comment below. My name is Chrissy and I'm your real estate stylist.